Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our channel. Really, in Nairobi, it is still very cold, very cold. I don't know where you are. How is your place? Just get and tell us, how is your place? Today, there is this developing story that I've been following up since last night. This is the raid by DCI officers in the Kwacha company offices in Westlands. Those are the offices of Jimmy Wanjigi. And I've been following up during the day. Of course, Jimmy Wanjigi came out and responded to that raid. In my previous video, I actually analyzed that part of Uhuru's meeting with One Kenya Alliance principles was to ask Kalonzo Musyoka his relationship with Jimmy Wanjigi. And someone also asked me in this channel to at least analyze on what is the deal between Wanjigi and Kalonzo Musyoka. So let me first bring you up to speed with what happened for people who maybe had not got a grip of this story. Yesterday night at around 9:30 p.m., some DCI officers raided the Kwacha offices, which are located in Westlands. They wanted to arrest Jimmy Wanjigi, but it is not yet clear whether Jimmy Wanjigi was there or he was not around. But I think I understand he was around there. So Kwacha offices is it is a group of companies where Wanjigi's businesses and actually family businesses are normally hosted from that place. It is the epicenter of Jimmy Wanjigi's business. So when Jimmy Wanjigi requested the DCIs, maybe if they could talk to his lawyer, who is Ahmed Nasir, they said they wanted Jimmy Wanjigi to go and record a statement the very night. You know, maybe what could have happened is he would have gone to record a statement, alafu afungwe ndani, maybe waiting to be arraigned on court the following day, or maybe the bail terms and that process. But that did not happen because he was not there. Then Wanjigi responded and said that whatever he's going through because of remarks he made against a presidential candidate in this country, or the remarks he made against Raila Odinga when he was with Kalonzo Musyoka at the Ayata farm in Ukambani. That is on Saturday. So I want you to listen to what he said there. Then after that, we are going to analyze on the deal between Kalonzo and Jimmy Wanjigi. First, listen to what Jimmy Wanjigi said in Yata Farm.
Haki yangu
Please, if you're new to this channel, kindly take a second and subscribe. You can also give this video a like. And our question today in this video is, how best can Jimmy Wanjigi work with Kalonzo Musyoka? But before then, who is behind Jimmy Wanjigi offices raid? Ask yourself that question. He said that the DC officers who raided the company offices were dressed in those vile wale madaktari wanajivaa. You understand? So those apron, like these ones that they used during the COVID period when the COVID issue came up. So it is one thing, the truth of the matter is, it was not an amorphous group. This is the DCI, Director of Criminal Investigation. Is it linked to the gun case between DCI and Jimmy Wanjigi? Or it is politically instigated, as Jimmy Wanjigi is saying, or it is just, maybe he's being followed on some business case or somewhere. So all those are theories that are there. But now I want to advance this theory And for once, I want to agree with him that maybe it is politically instigated. And what I don't agree is that Uhuru and Raila are the ones who planned it. I don't know. I don't want to go to that. I don't understand that. But then, why would you think that Raila will target him? While, if it is the contentious ODM party ticket, Raila Odinga is going to vie with Azimio la Umoja. Even though Azimio la Umoja might be registered as a party, so Raila Odinga might still go with Azimio la Umoja in the public space, but the ticket at IBC might be registered through ODM so that he can lock out Jimmy Wanjigi from using the ODM ticket. Because again, Jimmy Wanjigi might say that because ODM doesn't have a candidate, their candidate is Azimio la Umoja, let me grab the ODM ticket. Let me go and fight for the ODM ticket. So that is there. The only contentious issue between Jimmy Wanjigi and Raila is the fact that he wanted Raila to support him, or they wanted to go to a nomination with Raila so that ODM picks a presidential candidate between him and Raila. I don't think that is neither here nor there. But then, let us go to Kalonzo. How can Jimmy Wanjigi work with Kalonzo? My opinion on Kalonzo Jimmy Wanjigi deal is this. Jimmy Wanjigi, first, is not a presidential candidate, but he has interest in presidency. He's the person who formulated the Jubilee Party in 2013. 2017, he worked with NASA. And Kalonzo is on record saying that Jimmy Wanjigi fixed him twice. When Jubilee was formed, initially, they were supposed to work with Kalonzo. But when things changed and Mudavadi was picked as now the flag bearer, and not Mudavadi was picked, Uhuru was picked with the William Ruto as now as a running mate, Kalonzo was left in the dark. So now, after 2017, there is something that he said that we're working together, but hapo mbele, we will see the direction can take. One way that Jimmy Wanjigi is targeting Kalonzo Musyoka with, my first, is he's trying to block Kalonzo Musyoka from joining Azimio la Umoja. And this is how he's going to execute it. He will push Kalonzo, join Kalonzo and push to campaign to support Kalonzo, and push Kalonzo through Oka. That you go to Oka and make sure you get the presidential ticket. But why doesn't he want Kalonzo to join Raila? Because he knows that he's determined to support to oppose Raila presidency, to block Raila presidency. And in terms of arithmetics, Raila Odinga needs the Ukambani vote. So if he supports Kalonzo so that Kalonzo can vie as Kalonzo Musyoka through One Kenya Alliance, they can go as One Kenya Alliance, Kalonzo goes, and in that event that happens, maybe they force a rerun. Then from that rerun, the One Kenya Alliance or Kalonzo Musyoka's ticket, with Kalonzo as the presidential candidate, let's not talk about the One Kenya Alliance. With Kalonzo as the presidential candidate, he can bangle that vote and take to William Ruto. Not because he likes or he loves William Ruto policies, but because he wants to block Raila Odinga presidency. The second criteria is to make sure that Kalonzo Musyoka picks him as the running mate. But then, guys, look here. What will be the impact of him being picked as the running mate? What will happen is, when Kalonzo Musyoka gets Jimmy Wanjigi as a running mate, Jimmy Wanjigi is not, as I mentioned, is not a presidential candidate, but is a campaign financer. In the event that happens, Kalonzo Musyoka can go to One Kenya Alliance and convince them that because I have Jimmy Wanjigi, I can be the presidential candidate. You understand? So in the event that happens, Kalonzo can go to Mudavadi and the rest of OKA members and tell them that because we have Jimmy Wanjigi who can finance us, I need to be the candidate. Then from there, they form a bigger coalition of One Kenya Alliance, and the end game is to deliver these votes to William Ruto. The reason why I'm saying this, not because I am trying to advance a William Ruto agenda, but the person who can bolster, the person who can tussle with Raila Odinga in the ballot box is William Ruto. So that can be number one. That can be another option where William Ruto, Kalonzo picks him as the running mate. But he is not going to be a presidential candidate. The other one that I mentioned is pushing Kalonzo further. Now, lastly, I also think that he wants to work with Kalonzo Musyoka for further negotiations. He might not be interested in presidency. He has fallen out with Raila Odinga, and he cannot vie for presidency with Raila Odinga ticket. But when he joins Wiper, and Wiper goes to a negotiation table, perhaps with Azimio la Umoja or William Ruto team, he can push Kalonzo to front him for Nairobi governor seat, for a lucrative seat. With that, atakuwa amepanga Kalonzo Musyoka. That is highly possible. But now the last formation, and this is the one that will send shivers in the political space to Raila Odinga team and William Ruto, is trying to brand Kalonzo Musyoka and William Ruto ticket. This is because, let me tell you guys, there are some two incidences that I want you to try and see some coherence. I don't think Jimmy Wanjigi has a problem with William Ruto. And if he wants to stop Raila presidency, then he has to make sure Ruto becomes that president, not these other fellas. So, after the Yatta Farm meeting, Kalonzo flew and went to Meru, where he met the Meru governor. The people who welcomed Kalonzo Musyoka in Meru were partly those ODM, the incumbent ODM leadership that had worked with Wanjigi earlier. That is one. Two, Jean Wanjigi's lawyer is Abnella Nasir, who is a very strong supporter of William Ruto. So I don't want to, if Jim Wanjigi doesn't get well with William Ruto, he cannot pick a lawyer who supports William Ruto. That's what I understand. He would have gone for another person. So what Jim Wanjigi is pushing is Kalonzo ticket with William Ruto. Or still bring Kalonzo, work with One Kenya, but make sure that he hands over a One Kenya Alliance, UDA Alliance. UDA, One Kenya Alliance. I think that is also another formation. But the focal person to deliver this is Kalonzo Musyoka. Because Kalonzo Musyoka is now the only strongest person remaining in One Kenya Alliance. I even tend to believe that why people are worried about Jim Wanjigi is Jim Wanjigi might be working around the clock to deliver Oka Ruto Alliance. And lastly, my projection is this. On Sunday 23rd January, try to be on the lookout. If Jimmy Wanjigi is going to attend Amani National Congress, NDC, if he attends it, then my last theory that Jimmy Wanjigi might be formulating a One Kenya Alliance or a Kalonzo Ruto Alliance will be confirmed. That one, guys, I can tell you. And I think that's why these people are really talking to us about the earthquake. We are all in that. We're still talking about it. And guys, you can also get us and tell us what could be the hidden card between Jimmy Wanjigi and none other than Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. Thank you, guys. In our last video today, I'm going to talk about BBI case that have just gone that is going on, and there is a very interesting developing story there about Martha Karua. So stick around and make sure you subscribe.